Look, this one thing, if you can solve this one thing in your life as a man, you will succeed in relationships. You'll succeed in being way more charismatic. You'll succeed in business, everything in life, if you can solve this one thing. And this one thing can permeate across all of the rest of your life in terms of areas of life that you want to excel in. And I'm not going to waste your time, erase neediness. Delete it from your entire personality. Delete it from who you are. Neediness is the one thing that will repel every single person that's around you. Everybody. It'll repel your parents. It'll repel your girlfriend. It'll repel the girl that you're talking to. It'll repel friends, male friends that you want to have, be in these social circles. It'll repel everybody because nobody likes a man who is needy. Nobody likes a human being who's needy. Because all neediness symbolizes is that you don't have something and you're trying to take from other people. And I've been like that in life, where I've been so needy, and I wonder why that same person does not talk to me anymore. Because I was too needy. So these are the signs that you need to start to realize and internalize and start to think, am I needy? Do I do these things that Martell is saying right now? Because if you do that, that means you are needy. And you need to be able to remove that, extinguish it from your entire existence. So the first sign is if you talk way too much when you're trying to persuade someone to do something that you want. A lot of the times, especially when it comes to sales, when it comes to business, or when it comes to anything, even just little tasks that you need somebody to do for you, you'll over talk instead of just directly saying what it is that that person needs to do for you. You'll constantly talk. You may have an idea, a plan, something. You'll just overly talk because you don't necessarily know whether or not that person will do the thing that you want. So you have to constantly talk because you have to fill in the space to be able to, you have to feel like you have to convince other people. You need that person. And so you have to completely eliminate the idea of over talking when you're trying to persuade someone to do something. Maybe it's a sales call. You get on a sales call and you're talking the person's ear off. They've never said anything to you. And at the very end, you drop the price and you keep talking and you're trying to convince them because you need the money, you need the customer. They will never buy from you. You go on a date with a woman. You're over talking and you're just explaining an idea and you're trying to be charismatic. You're trying to talk. You're trying to impress her. It's neediness. Putting someone on a pedestal. You're basically putting someone on a pedestal when you show this type of neediness. And you have to stop talking a lot when you're trying to persuade someone on something that you want. You have to be very indifferent with what their decision is going to be, right? The next thing is basically when you ask people to spend time with you. I know this sounds very, very weird, but the more that you ask people to spend time with you, the more that people don't want to spend time with you because it's neediness. You're constantly needing to be around other people. You're needing to enter other people's worlds. It's the same with women. I see a lot of men when they go out with women or when they're trying to attract women and they want to go on a date, they'll literally tell the woman like, hey, do you think we should go on this date? We should go here. We should hang out here instead of telling the person or inviting them to hang out with you. There's a difference. Invite them to tag along with you because you're the world builder. You don't need them to be around because you're going to do the thing in general. You're going to accomplish the thing in general. You don't need them to join you to be able to do that thing. But the more that you ask somebody, hey, I want to go hang out with you, or let's go here, let's do that. You're basically communicating that you need that person the most. You need them around. If they're not around, you cannot get the thing done. You can't do the thing. And the more that you act like that, the more that people will not want to hang out with you. The more that the woman will not want to go on a date with you. Because the neediness of wanting that person or tagging along with what that person's doing or trying to bring that person along because they have the value and you don't, that's literally destroying relationships and is destroying what you really, really want, the outcomes that you really want. So you want to always invite other people into your world and invite them into the activities you're doing. That eliminates neediness from that, right? And it's very important that you do that because more people will respect you. And when people respect you, they'll start to pay attention to you a lot more. They'll start to actually do the things that you want them to do. And so another thing is being afraid of not being liked. I was like this when I was younger. I was constantly trying to be liked by everybody. And if somebody didn't like me, it was a problem. I had to change something in myself. And the truth is, you don't need to worry about that. You as a man, you don't need anybody to like you. Why do you want people to like you? Why are you trying to mold yourself into somebody that you think the other person is going to like? When in reality, it does not matter. It mostly matters who you are and do you like yourself. Most people who are afraid of not being liked don't even like themselves. That's why they're afraid of not being liked. The minute that you can discard that from your existence, the minute that you can not care about if somebody likes you or not, you become way more charismatic because you simply don't give a fuck. You don't. It's the same with me. I can make videos, I can talk to someone in real life, and I don't care whether they like me or not. I don't. I don't care whether a random person who watches me on the internet likes me or not. Because it doesn't matter. I don't need that. I don't need them. And that's a neediness. You need somebody, so you have to care if somebody likes you or not. And it does not matter. It doesn't. So you have to understand it does not matter if somebody likes you or not. You have to be you, authentically you, who you are, your views, your values. You say it and it does not matter whether you're liked or not. The next is constantly checking your phone for replies. You constantly check your phone and you're trying to find replies. You want somebody to talk to you, whether it's a girl, whether it's a guy, whether it's some request that you have, you're checking your phone, right? You want to make a reply. And the reason why you do this is because you're constantly trying to get approval from somebody else. You're constantly needing somebody to tell you like, oh, this person responded. I used to do this. I used to literally be on my phone like, oh, I'm waiting for this reply. I'm waiting for somebody to send me a message. I'm waiting for somebody to come save me out of my misery and reply to this message that I have. And it's so needy that people genuinely don't want to be around you. People will never communicate with you. The neediness, they can feel it through the replies that you give them right away. You're sending long paragraphs of everything. The constant need to see a reply from somebody, to feel like you're seen. When in reality, you should love the fact that you're you and it doesn't matter whether you think you're seen or not. So you don't have to be checking your phone for replies all the time after you send a message. You send the message, leave the phone. Go do something else. Be a busy guy. Do something. You don't have to be performative with it like how these dating coaches say, oh, like, make sure you reply in an hour. No, go do something else with your life. They're not your world. You're your world. Stop entering other people's worlds. That's what you have to understand. The next, which is very, very important, is complaining that people are not making time for you. That's the worst thing. I hate people like that. And you probably hate people like that too, and you may be like that, where if somebody doesn't make time for you, you make a verbal complaint. You're like, oh, well, you don't spend time with me. You know how feminine that sounds? Doesn't that sound like I'm a woman? Oh, you don't spend any time with me. Billy, you don't spend any time with me. It's bullshit. Who cares if the person doesn't spend time with you? Why do you care? Why does it matter? Your time is valuable. You have things that you're doing. You have a mission. You have a goal. You have things that you're working on. The person doesn't want to make time for you. They don't want to make time for you. It's all good. You move on. The woman that you want to go for and you want to set something up and you've invited her to go do something with you and she doesn't want to make the time to do it, that's her loss, not yours. So what is the point of constantly needing somebody to make time for you and verbalizing that they don't make enough time for you? That's feminine as fuck. And it's the worst thing you can do for yourself. Puts you at a lower status pole in the hierarchy of social life. Like you're at the lowest end of social status because you constantly are trying to get people to make time for you. It's so weird. It's so feminine. And you have to get rid of that mentality. All right. The next is always being available. Like literally always being available no matter what. No matter what somebody needs, whether it's a client, whether it's a customer, whether it's your family, whether it's your girl, whatever, you're always available. At a drop of a dime, you're always available. What happens when that neediness? Why are you always available? Because you need the person to need you. So because you need the person to need you, you have to make yourself available to that person to prove your worth to the other person, when in reality, it does not fucking matter. It doesn't matter. You don't need to drop everything that you're doing to be available every single time at the becking orders of everybody else. Even when you run a business, the client, the more you respond quickly, the more you do all these things, the more that you're just quick to just do everything, people will start to use you. They will rinse you because you're making yourself too available. You're not putting value on your time. You're a needy, spineless worm. And what do people do with needy, spineless worms? They step on them. You don't want to be stepped on. So you have to create value for your time and don't always be available. The very needy energy that goes nowhere in life. All right? The next is showing people respect that don't show you respect back. That's a big one. Take that, internalize it. You show respect to everybody else and they don't respect you. What does that do? That already puts somebody on a pedestal and they have to disrespect you. And the reason why you're doing that is because you're needy. You need the other person to respect you, even though they've disrespected you. So you think that by giving that person respect, they're going to reciprocate and give respect for you like the world is equal. The world is not equal, my friend. The world is not equal at all. The world is actually as unequal as it can get. Unequal. So you have to understand that and realize if somebody disrespects you, you don't give them respect back. You ignore them. That's the biggest sign of disrespect, ignoring someone's existence. I'm not telling you to go have a verbal altercation with them or a physical altercation. What I'm saying is you need to ignore them and act like they don't even exist. Be indifferent to them if they disrespect you, but don't give them respect. Worst thing you can possibly do, ever. Ever, 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 ever. The next is being hyper emotional when someone says no. This is the craziest thing I've seen a lot of guys do. When they get denied, when they get rejected, they get hyper, like a woman rejects them, like, oh, I'm not interested. They get hyper emotional. Why are you not interested? Or they get so pouty and they get sad. That's needy because you need them to say yes. They get super sad when they don't get their way. They get upset on the sales call when the potential client says no, they're not interested. Why are you not interested? What do you mean? They get super upset. They get emotional because they're needy. They need it. And when people feel this, they leave you. You repel everybody. Worst thing you can do. I'm telling you, if you can follow these rules, man, like it'll change your life. The next is apologizing all the time. Apologizing all of the time. Oh, I'm sorry I did that. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do this? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to. Stop apologizing all of the fucking time. There are times to apologize, and there are times when you literally don't say anything, or you say, oh, I'm going to do this better next time. I don't apologize and say sorry all the time. Because why would you do that? That's needy. You're needing their validation. You're needing the person to validate the fact that you're sorry and they accept your apology because they're your master and you're their slave. I'm so sorry. Can you forgive me? Bro, don't be there are times to apologize when you've genuinely done something wrong. When you know you can correct it and it's something that's detrimental, yes, apologize. But a lot of men apologize for little shit. And it messes them up. And I'm telling you right now, you have to stop apologizing all the time. Have a pair of balls and own yourself and accept mistakes that are made and correct them without endlessly apologizing all the time. Because all that's doing is lowering your value, you become needy, and people don't want to talk to you anymore because you're the guy who's always apologizing. So you have to deal with this stuff, man. You have to understand this stuff. Because once you can understand this, you're going to get way better at life. You're going to be way more charismatic. You're going to get way more girls. You're going to be able to dominate business. You're going to be able to dominate conversation, everything. And the last bonus that I'm going to leave for you is that you always work on other people's missions over your own. This is powerful. If you got to this end, I wanted to save this for the end because this is one of the things that will change your life. You're constantly helping other people with their ventures, other people with their businesses, other people with their tasks and their things that they're doing, and you put yourself last. And what happens when you put yourself last? If you watch the video before this, you have no balls. You become docile, you become numb, you become somebody who's a spineless worm. And what do we do with spineless worms? We step on them. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to put somebody else's mission over yours. Your mission comes first. When you first get up in the morning, that first hour is about you. It's not about checking your phone to respond to messages to people. It's not about anything else but you. You put your mission first, and once you've completed your mission or you've made progress in your mission, then you help other people's mission. When I'm on my purpose, when I'm doing what I need to do, when I have a mission, I don't go call people all the time and try to help them out. I used to do that. That's a coping mechanism because I wasn't able to accomplish my mission, so I wanted to make myself feel better by trying to go and accomplish other people's missions. You don't want to do that. What you want to do, and I'm telling you this right now, focus on your own mission. Let other people join your world. Don't go join other people's worlds. Because all that's going to do is it's going to diminish you. People are going to rinse you. People are going to use you because you have that needy energy. You need to be a part of something. You need to be a part of that person's world. You need to do this. You need to do that. Cut the neediness permanently, and I promise you it will change your life.